Hello, in this video I will show you how to install a wooden climbing hangboard or training board above a door frame. Now, when you buy one of these, it's going to come with pre-drilled mounting holes and screws. However, you don't want to just screw it directly into your wall because there's no guarantee that the spacing between these pre-drilled holes lines up with the studs in your wall, and you don't want to just screw directly into drywall or plaster, because that is not going to be anywhere near strong enough to support your weight, so that is a good way to injure yourself and rip some chunks out of your wall if you go try to hang on it and it's just screwed into the drywall. So instead, what we're going to do is locate the studs above this door frame, mount a 3/4 inch piece of plywood as a backing, and then screw the hangboard into that. So for locating the studs, you are going to want to use a stud finder. Some people can do it by knocking on the wall and listening for the sound to change or something, but easier, more reliable way to do it is to use a stud finder. There are different types of these. This particular one is an edge finder, so it will find the edges of the studs. So what I do is I hold this flat against the wall, I hold down the button, it's going to beep a couple times, and then as I slide it along the wall, it's going to pop up with a beep and a red arrow when it detects the edge of a stud. And I keep going, and that arrow is going to disappear when I have passed the stud. So you see, I have already, since I don't have three hands, I couldn't hold a pencil and do this at the same time, I had already gone and marked the edges of that stud there. So if I zoom back a bit, you can see it's actually not centered in the door frame. It's off center a little bit, so you can't just assume there's one centered. You might have two, depending on the width of the door. And then over here towards the edges, I also have one that kind of overlaps the edge of the door frame here. So it looks like I'm going to have three, one vertical on each side, and then one kind of offset in the middle. The instructions for the hangboard I got say you need to mount it to at least 2 studs, preferably 3 or 4, and use 3 screws per stud. So what I'm going to do is get my sheet of plywood in a second, and of course if I go and put that plywood up here, I'm going to cover up the markings I just made, so I'm actually going to make markings along the top of the door frame so they're not covered with the plywood, and then screw that plywood into the studs. So here is my sheet of plywood. I had a scrap piece that was slightly shorter than the width of my door frame, so maybe depending on how you want it to look, you would want it to be exactly the same width or stain it to match or something. I didn't really care that much because this is just going on the inside of a bedroom where not that many other people are going to see it. This is 3/4 inch thick plywood. You can get this at a hardware store. There are different types of woods, so softwoods like pine that are usually cheaper, and then hardwoods like oak or maple that are usually more expensive. There are also different levels of surface finish, determining how rough it is and whether it's pre-sanded on one or both sides. Since one side of this is just always going to be against the wall, you don't really care if it's rough on one side, but you probably want it to be smooth on the side it's facing out so you don't get splinters if you're touching this. So you can either buy the rougher stuff, which is going to be cheaper, and then sand it yourself, or save time and buy it pre-sanded. If you don't own a circular saw or a table saw, you can also ask them to cut this for you at most big hardware stores like Lowe's or Home Depot. They'll have a big thing called a panel saw, where if you give them the dimensions, they can cut it for you. So that's another option. I also saw the company I bought the hangboard from had a pre-cut piece of backboard that you could just buy directly from them. I don't remember the price, but I assume that's going to be more expensive than doing it yourself. Point being, plenty of options. You want this to be about as wide as your door frame and taller than the hangboard itself, so that you can then fit the hangboard on here. I am going to put it centered in the frame, maybe a little bit offset to the right because of the way the door opens here. But the next step, which again I'm not going to be able to film because I don't have enough hands, is to pre-drill holes into the studs through the plywood, and then I'm going to use 3-inch screws to screw this in. So you've got 3/4 inch plywood, probably 1/2 inch drywall behind that, and then that gives you more than 1 inch of screw that's actually going to bite into the stud. So for drilling the holes, you're going to need a few different things, and how to use a power drill is really a topic for a separate video, but there's probably tons of those on YouTube if you go look one up. So I've got my Phillips head bit with the guide. It's going to make putting the screws in easier, but again, you want to pre-drill the holes so you're not splitting the wood, and it's going to make the screw go in a lot easier. So I have a drill bit that is a slightly narrower diameter than my screw. If I hold that up to the screw, you can see how the threads of the screw stick out to the sides because you don't want to drill a hole that's too wide or else the threads aren't going to bite. And if you drill a hole that's too narrow, then it's going to be harder to get the screw in, and again, you risk splitting the wood. So again, you can probably find another video out there telling you exactly what drill bit diameter to use for each size screw, but I always just kind of eyeball it. The other thing that can be nice to have, but not a must-have, is a countersink bit, which helps you drill kind of a little cone-shaped hole just at the very beginning so that the head of the screw fits in more nicely. And again, that way you don't risk splitting the wood when you force the head of the screw in flush with the wood. So again, I'm not going to film the process of drilling since I don't have enough hands, but if we cut back over to my door frame, you can see what I've done is marked on the door frame here where those studs are, so I don't cover up these markings when I put the piece of plywood up there. I'm going to hold the piece of plywood up, pre-drill probably just one hole, maybe in the middle of this stud, and get one screw in so it's held in place, and then it's a lot easier. Again, if you have someone to help you with a second set of hands to maybe hold that plywood up there while you're pre-drilling so you don't drop it on your head, that might be a little safer, but I don't have anyone helping, so I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. Alright, so there's the piece of plywood with one screw holding in, which again is enough to just kind of hold this in place so I can do the rest of the screws. Definitely not enough to hold your weight, so I'm going to go add a top and bottom screw on each stud for 9 screws total. Alright, so here I am partway through putting all of the screws in, and a word of warning as I'm doing this, it looks like I was a little off with the stud finder on this side because these screws just felt like they went in a little too easy. When I drilled the hole, there wasn't enough resistance after I got through the plywood, and I don't know if you can see this on camera, but it really just doesn't feel like that is secured. I can pull the edge out a little bit. So what I did was added another hole here and here because according to the stud finder, there's also framing along the top and bottom here. So that way, if these aren't actually biting into the studs all the way, I'm still secured with at least 2 screws on this side. So another way you can tell for sure if a screw did not bite into a stud is if it just spins. So if I go and try to tighten that one further, it just spins versus these ones where I can tell that is locked in. So again, those two on the left there aren't really doing anything, but I also can't back them out because these screws are not... Actually, I can get that one out there. So I'm going to take those two out because they're not doing anything, but again, I'm secured on the top and bottom on the left here. So I've got all of those in, and now it's time to mount the hangboard to this plywood backing. Alright, so again, the hangboard has those holes pre-drilled. I've marked the center of the hangboard and the center of the door frame, and I'm going to go through pretty much the same process here where I'm going to pre-drill through those existing holes in the hangboard back into the plywood, and then use the screws that came with it to mount it. I have some wiggle room here for the vertical position. I'm going to err on the lower side because I'm installing this for my daughter, and there are some grips way up on the top, so you don't want it up there. You can't really grab those because the ceiling's in the way, so I'm probably going to put it flush with the top of the frame here, so there is plenty of clearance on the top. Alright, and there we go, with all 6 screws gone through those pre-drilled holes into the plywood backing. Now, especially if you are installing this for someone else, maybe you can do them the courtesy of giving this a weight test to make sure it isn't going to fall on their head. If you did mess up something, then it's going to fall on you. I don't know, put on a bike helmet or something first if you are not super confident in your stud locating and drilling skills. But that's it. If you have, as usual, a comment, suggestion, think I did something stupid in this video, go ahead and leave a comment below this video. If there's anything particularly useful, I will pin it. And check out the rest of the channel for some basic DIY woodworking projects for people who don't have a ton of skills or tools. Thanks for watching.